What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Viva Los Bills. I'm hoping my audio is going out here. I haven't talked to nobody, so I don't know if it is. I believe it is. If not, we're going to be in some trouble. What's up? Buffalo Will, as always. Usually I have Cousin Vinny with me, but Cousin Vinny's stuck at work, so I'm flying solo. Maybe Bobby Blackjack might hop on a little bit later. Maybe we might get somebody else to join us. But as of right now, just me by myself with you guys. So I'm hoping you guys chime in. Send me some texts or tweets or whatever. I'll answer your questions and we'll get it going and rolling as we always do. And I'll be talking a lot by myself. And hopefully I'll keep you guys somewhat entertained. As always, welcome. We always crack a little brew here for, a little cheers to everybody. So, a little salute to you guys. What's up? Let's get this Thursday cracking and popping. Hopefully you guys hear me. Cheers. So a little thing we've been doing the last few weeks, if you've been watching, is that, hey, we usually drink a beer, especially if the Bills win, and a little congratulatory beer or a little celebration and so forth. And today I'm drinking a Saranac. Last week I was drinking Saranac, drinking it again, but this is called Juicy Ale. Juicy Ale is not bad. It's 4% alcohol. It's kind of smooth. I don't mind it. It's kind of light. Not that light you want to drink it all the time. I might have like 2 or 3 of these, and then I'll think, that'll be it. Let me get out of here. Hit something that I shouldn't have. So, I guess we start kicking things off. Where am I at over here? Boom. Let's go. So, the Atlanta Falcons right now are trying to shop Julio Jones. Why? Because they only have $588,000 in salary cap. And as of right now, they can't sign their rookies. So they're shopping Julio Jones. And unless there is a way to keep him, they would have to take his salary, pretty much make, say $8 million guaranteed, and then take the next $7 million and do it in incentives. So, incentives, being that he only played 9 games, it'll be a little easier to reach. Like, say, hey, if you catch 6 touchdowns this year, you'll get $2 million. Or if you go and have over 1,000 yards receiving, you'll get $4 million. So even last year, I believe he only played 9 games. I think he had 5 touchdowns and I think around 900 yards. And he didn't even play the full season. So, these are things he could reach. It would help out the Atlanta Falcons, salary-wise, because then they'll free up money where they can end up signing all their rookies and also maybe have a little bit of money just in case 1 or 2 players gets hurt, and they could do it that way. Now, it's up to Julio Jones if he really would want that. Nobody's saying he will. Nobody's saying he won't. But that's pretty much the only way they may be able to get away or get by with re-signing Julio and not trading him. Now, trade partners out there seem to be a bunch popping up saying, hey, as of right now, rumor are the Ravens, 49ers, the Pats, Colts, and Chargers are all pretty much interested in having Julio join their squad. Now, personally, I wouldn't want to see the Pats get Julio. I wouldn't want to see the Ravens or the Chargers. If he's going to go, hopefully he stays in the NFC and especially not in the AFC East. So I don't want to deal with Julio. Is Julio the same player he's always been? Nope, he's not. And we all know that, but he's still a beast. So that's one player I don't want to see twice a year. And hopefully he goes to the NFC, stays in the NFC, maybe the 49ers. I mean, that would just bolster the 49ers even more. I mean, if he gets on the Colts, that would be pretty nasty. If he goes to the Chargers, would I mind it as much? No. They do have a young team. They do have some good weapons. It'll help them out. But we really don't have to deal with the Chargers unless we meet them in the playoffs. So, honestly, I don't really care about that too much. The Ravens, we always see them play the Ravens or meet up with the Ravens. So that's one team I wouldn't want to see them because the Ravens are going to be in the playoffs unless they get injury. They get struck by the injury bug. But besides that, they should be there full force in the playoffs. So honestly, Julio, rework your contract, stay in Atlanta. But if I'm Atlanta, I probably would trade him. I'd offer him the deal to take that restructured contract. If he doesn't do it, I'll try to get as much as I can for Julio Jones. Hopefully it would be a 1 or a 2 or 1+2 or something. The guy still could ball. He's still a beast. Get as much as you can. But if you're just going to give him away, that'd be pretty hard to swallow. I wouldn't want to see that, at least for Atlanta. I don't hate on him. Yo, German, what's up? Hey, Susio, thanks for checking in. Yo, you want to be on the show? I'll send you the link, bro. Let me know. We can talk Jets. I'm solo, so I could use the help. All right, now we're moving on. Big news in the league. What? Tebow mania. Well, I don't know about mania. It has people upset because Tebow has signed a 1 year, I believe it's a 1 year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was set to practice. I believe he was at practice today. His jersey, he's going to be wearing number 85. And what's it called? It's already out there for sale. They do put, hey, it's available now, but you're going to have to wait 2 to 4 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks if you're going to get it. But let's see how Tebow's jersey goes. I wouldn't doubt if it sells a lot. He had a lot of fans. I mean, it's been a long time since he's been on the game or played the game. He's moving from QB to tight end. And let's see how it goes. I mean, I wish him the best. I don't dislike Tebow. I actually liked Tebow when he was coming out of college. I knew he wasn't the best quarterback out there, but I was one of those guys hoping that the Bills would have picked him up. I'm not saying it would have worked, but I thought they should have picked him up when he was available. I forgot who we got that year. But anyway, so that's one thing. Go get your Tebow jersey if you're a Jaguars fan. And can't hate on the guy. Good guy. Moving on. Houston. Houston has gone out and signed another quarterback, Jeff Driscoll, to a 1 year contract. So that puts Houston with 5 quarterbacks if you count Deshaun Watson. And after this, Deshaun Watson has put up a series of workout videos showing that he's working out and putting in work. Now, he still has his old litigation stuff going on there. But there's rumors that there is supposedly a settlement, like a settlement still remains possible between both parties. My thing is this: if they do settle, what's the NFL going to do? Are they going to put something on him? Or are they going to suspend him? If they don't suspend him, how's that look? Especially with 22 allegations, and if he's paying it off, I don't think I would want him on my team. But there's rumors that people are still looking for him, possibly just waiting to see what happens with this. Rumor spot is still Miami. Kind of tough if you're Tua. You get there and maybe they'll ship you off to Houston. Fine. But to me, if I'm an organization and I hold myself to a high standard, 22 allegations, if it's paid off, I don't know if I want that player on my squad. Who's to say it's not going to happen down in Miami where something might follow him again? I don't know. I think I would stay away from him. If I'm the Houston Texans, I'm trying to ship him off. I'm trying to get as much as I can for him. If you still could get 2 1s or 3 1s plus a player or 2 for him, I would do it just to clean my hands off him if I'm the Houston Texans. But me as another organization, I'm not taking him. I'm not picking him up. Especially if I have a good little young rookie quarterback. Well, Tua's a second-year man. I'm not doing it. I would skip it. But, hey, everybody to their own. So we shall see what happens with Houston and who would be willing to pick up Deshaun Watson after all this craziness. Personally, like I said, I'm not doing it. I won't touch the guy. I'll leave him alone. But that's me. Moving on. So, ex-Bill, Kelvin Benjamin, he signed a 1 year contract, I believe, with the Giants, but I don't think he's going to be playing wide receiver. A lot of people see him sliding over to the tight end position and trying to give him a shot at the tight end position because he did lose a step or two when he was playing wide receiver. The Bills gave him a chance. It just wasn't working out. So they, I believe, let him go or didn't re-sign him. Either way, I think he sat out all of last year and maybe partially the year before that. But he's trying to give it a go. Ex-Florida State guy. I like Calvin Benjamin when he was coming up. He had a few good years over there in Carolina. Just didn't work out with the Bills. So now with the Giants, he's going the Tebow route, possibly a tight end. Don't think he'll make it at wide receiver unless, he put in some crazy work, picked up his step. But as of right now, the guy's trying to go the tight end route. Now the Giants, I just mentioned, but before I did this, came out not too long ago. Giants, a new lawsuit claims the Giants have a culture of violence and intimidation in their organization. It's not good to be having these accusations come up, and now you got a lawsuit. It's a little crazy. It's actually from a former video director. He alleges in a new lawsuit that he was fired for complaining about an assault committed against a coworker. So he's pretty much saying that his coworker, you look this up per Pro Football Talk, where is it? They were saying that, he was in view of a coworker. I believe he got pushed or shoved or choked, and there was higher ups around and they didn't do anything. And then that he was, that was one. Here you go. Just recent example of perceived continuing pattern of culture of violence in the workplace by Giants management towards subordinates. Maltese spent 30 years with the Giants. Where is this? In the litigation, he accuses Giants of firing him after he complained about an employee who was physically attacked by his supervisor. Maltese alleges the Giants' general counsel, William J. Heller, warned Maltese against pushing the matter any further, claiming that Heller said he would struggle you until you no longer can breathe. Ooh, that's a no-no. If he told anyone about the situation. Maltese also contends in 2004, an assistant coach pushed Maltese into a table while players, or the coaches, and Christopher Mara, brother of co-owner John Mara, were present. The Giants declined to answer on the lawsuit. This ain't good. Giants, you've always thought of the Giants as one of the classy organizations. They've been around forever. They won plenty of Super Bowls. So they're always held up to a higher standard, and that, supposed to be a classy organization. I've actually worked shooting freelance camera work for them, and I've never had an issue. But you never know what happens behind closed doors, and there's always two sides to a story. So I guess time will tell, and we'll see what happens from this lawsuit. That is not a good look. What is going around the league with some dumb crap like this? Again, at least it's not the players who did this. It's behind the scenes, which doesn't make it any better. Giants, get your crap together. Whew. Stuff flies by when you're by yourself and there's no Vinny to talk to. At least German hit me up once. German, keep the questions coming or something. Let me take a sip here, cool off a little. Let's keep going on around the league. Last week we talked about Aaron Rodgers. I think everybody knows my feeling on Aaron Rodgers is like, hey, be quiet, put in your time. You have top 10 offensive line, top 10 wide receivers, top 10 running back game right now. And I believe the defense, I'm not sure if they're the top 10, but they're up there. So what are you complaining about that they don't give you no tools or anything? You're still upset that they traded up to get a quarterback to take your job, pretty much like you did to Brett Favre. It's part of the game. Be quiet, play. Now I was talking to one of my buddies who's a Green Bay fan, and he was thinking that the possibility is that they might be waiting a few months, because if they take him now and they trade him now, they have to eat, I think it was close to $20 or $30 million in dead cap. And you don't want that. And I believe if they wait till July or June or something like that, he was saying it would drop to $12 million. So I think if they're going to make a move, it'll be at this point when that drops, when they're not going to eat all this dead cap money for Rodgers. And like I said, if you're a quarterback, you don't want to be on my team, I don't want you on my team. I get as much as I can for you, and then I'll trade you. So, Rodgers, just chill. Do your job. You have one of the best teams. Where are you going to go to Denver? Listen, I like Denver, but I don't think Denver's better than Green Bay right now. Um, so that's an option. Like, okay, you're going to go there. The Raiders, I like the Raiders. They have a lot of talent over there, but are they better than Green Bay? I don't think so. Is he going to take them to a Super Bowl? I don't think so. I think they have a good squad that he'll probably get them to the playoffs, but I don't see them beating. I don't see them beating the Ravens, and I don't even see them beating KC. I'm not even going to put my Bills up there, but I don't think they will beat those two teams. Can they get to the playoffs with them? Yeah, I think so. It depends on what they're going to give, and that offensive line is pretty good. Well, I don't know if it's better than Green Bay's, and I don't know if they're going to keep him off his back. So look at what you have, play a year or two. Unless you're going to San Fran, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't move. I'd stay right there. Who cares? You're not the GM. You don't like the GM. You're playing for the coach. Just ignore the GM for a year or two and whatever. Just do what you got to do. The fans love you. And if you're going to act like a little baby and just want to get out because you don't like the GM and because he traded a wide receiver you liked, it's part of the game. Not saying you don't deserve to have that say because you're Aaron Rodgers, but you're not the owner. You're not the GM. You're the QB. Play the ball. Play ball. Stop whining. Stop whining. Where am I out over here now? All right, the Bills. The Bills hired Sophie Lewin, who has been a Princeton assistant coach, but she's also worked for the Bills in the past as a summer training camp assistant. Also, Andrea Gosper, who will work as a player personnel coordinator, which is it's pretty cool because, the Bills in the past, I believe Sophia came in, don't quote me, when Rex Ryan was there. He was one of the first coaches to bring in a female assistant. So the Bills continue to bring up women within the organization as assistants and throughout their culture, whatever. I can't even say right now. Within the organization, they've been employing women, which is good. They're giving these women chances to break into the football game and so forth. So kudos to the Bills for doing that and having these women join the all-man's league, even though it's not an all-man's league. They're breaking ground and helping them out. Now, the Bills held rookie training camp this past weekend. Here's the roster is what it was. Look at I'm chopping myself up. It's pretty kind of rough here. Let's see if I can do something else. Dude, that's it. Look at Zach Smith, running backs Antonio Williams, Christian Wade. Christian Wade's probably the part of the whole European tryout there. So he still falls, I guess, under the rookie mini camp roster. Greg, Boogie there, Nazir Jones, Eddie Boogie. Yep, Boogie and Greg, the two first and second round picks were there. Joe Giles Harris, Mike Bell. Mike Bell, again, he came in, re-signed. Wide receiver Marquise Stevenson, Trey Walker, Isaiah Ford. He's trying out, so that's why these guys are able to go there. They're not rookies. They were trying out. Rashard Wildgoose, Elijah Griffin, Nick McLeod, tight end Quentin Morris, and Nate Becker. I think, and I've said on a show before, that I believe Nate Becker might be one of these undrafted rookies that might make the squad. I was replying to a question, I believe, one of the Bills sites, not for the Buffalo Bills, but other shows like ours had said, which undrafted free agent do you think will make it? Everybody was pretty much picking Elijah Griffin. From the footage I saw, I don't know how these guys are saying it. I mean, he did come up. He did lay some pops. It looked like he got burnt a few times. He had to play catch up. So I don't know if Griffin will make it. I mean, Wild Goose was a draft pick. I said he has work to do. So, I wouldn't even be surprised if Wild Goose is on the practice squad and Griffin's on the practice squad. But I think Wild Goose might have a better shot at making it. I don't see Griffin making it, but who knows? I'm just a fan. Also, let's get to offensive line. Steven Gonzalez was the man who signed the other day, not from undrafted last year out of Penn State. Jack Anderson, Cyrus Tutele, Tommy Doyle, Spencer Brown. No specialists tried out for that. So, I mean, they got in there, they put in work. There was rumors that the player association really didn't want these kids going out there and practicing. They didn't want other guys practicing, but hey, they went out there because you got to put in your work. You don't want to sit out and be screwed, and then you're not going to make the squad. So you go out there, do your rookie work, and you get in there. Do what you have to do, and you're in a spot. And then you can end up like Joe Gals Harris here, who ended up signing. He went to the rookie trial. He went to the rookie minicamp as a tryout, and they signed him. Listen, he went in there and impressed them, and that's what you have to do. You got to go in there, you got to put in the work, and show you really want to play and continue your career. He was cut by the Jaguars earlier this month. He's appeared in 14 games over the last 2 years, recording 23 tackles, 2 for losses, and 1 sack. Does he have great numbers? No, not right now. He didn't really play much. He played in 14 games. So who knows? This is a depth move, and we'll see if he makes the roster or not. Now, I reached out to my buddy who's always on the show. He's putting comments, gave him an invite if he wanted to hop on. And here he is, my buddy German. Call him Sucio, Jet fan. You might want to tilt up a little or something. You're cutting your head off. Well, let's get him on. And let me take this down. There you are. What's up, bro?
What's up, Willie Will?
Been a long time, man. I haven't seen you in many years.
Yeah, years.
Years.
Life is crazy nowadays, ain't
it? Yep. So German's a big Jet fan. He comments on the show every week. So what do you think about your Jets, bro? What's the status of your Jets? What do you think?
I was reading today. Since Joe Douglas has taken over, there's only like 10 to 19 players that are left from 2 years ago.
Wow.
That's like a big turnover. So, I'm starting to follow it back up again. I mean, we're starting new. You got to say that, right? Wilson. Yeah. Our backup quarterbacks have never played a game in the NFL either. So I'm hoping they pick up some type of backup that has some experience. Mm-hmm. Then I was reading about some of the undrafted free agents that we have. We have some big boys coming in, especially on the O-line. Hopefully they pan out. I know Washington just released their right tackle, so we're looking for a right tackle. So we have a good left tackle back in Beckham. Then we just drafted a left guard in Vera. So we have a pretty good center. Now we just got to solidify the right side.
Yeah.
We definitely need some linebackers though. We're short. Oh, I don't think we haven't had good linebackers in years.
German's a big Jet fan. Oops, sorry, I got my audio over here. I got to kill on my side computer. Yeah, no, I mean, the Bills are going to have to cut some. You guys might be able to pick up some. We have a few linebackers that keep signing more linebackers. And like you said, I forgot to mention that Washington released right tackle Morgan Moss. So if you need a right tackle, that guy's been a beast over there. I guess they're cutting him more to save money. I think it's around a little less than $8 million he was going to make this year.
And I think the Jets had a big cap number, so they got the money, they got the space. Hopefully that works out. But I mean, I'm just, we defensive coach comes in and he went offense, which is good because we needed some playmakers. That's what was happening with Darnold,
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't hate the playmakers you guys had. I thought your receivers were pretty good. The problem was they got hurt.
They always got hurt.
Your offensive line, I always said, needed to be bolstered, and they went. And I was surprised they took an offensive lineman with the second pick. I thought they should have, but I didn't think they were going to. I thought they wanted like a flashier pick and would have went with a running back or something. But I think they drafted smart.
Yeah, I was actually hoping to get Etienne from Clemson because that would have gave us a big back. Mm-hmm. I mean, the one we had, Carter, he's pretty good in the fourth and as our third pick. But I think Wilson was a smart pick. He's got a strong arm. Yeah. But playing in New York is tough. We'll see how that goes. But I think Etienne would have been a good fit at the running back because it would have gave us an extra receiver out of the backfield. and he's a beast.
Yeah.
What else? And then I thought they could have picked up one of the offensive linemen from Notre Dame in the third round, third round. That would have solidified that guard spot. But it is what it is. We have to, I don't expect much this year. It's a rebuilding year for Guillen for me. But as long as they stay healthy and learn, I mean, Salah seems to be a good guy. I mean, early reports are the players love him.
Well, that's what everybody says. They love him, and good football. He helped turn around San Fran's D. I mean, they had a lot of great players up there. My main concern was their offensive line, and I thought they addressed it. Did I think Bradford? I was kind of happy that Bradford left. I think he needed a change of scenery. I think it just wasn't happening here. So we'll see if they made the right decision or not. This kid, Zach Wilson, looks like a kid. He looks so small and tiny.
He's young.
But they say he's a great athlete. He used to play basketball. Like he was good at basketball, football. Like he would be supposedly, and he loves to compete. Yeah. He looked like he's 12.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go back to the college careers, Sam Darnold, freshman year, sophomore year at USC, was lights out. It was awesome. Junior year, not so much. I mean, he was a turnover machine. And when the Jets drafted him, I mean, he throws high, and we had small receivers. Throw high, small receivers, that isn't going to work. So the ball was sailing. So that was one of the things. But we also didn't give him a chance. I mean, you can't drop back 3 steps and bam, you're getting hit, or 3 steps and you're running. It reminds me of, you remember Tim Couch or David Carr with Houston and Cleveland respectively. You got killed. You get happy feet. You can be the best quarterback you can, but if you can't take a step to throw, you're done.
Yeah. If your offensive line is not good, you're getting eaten up. And that's why I always feel bad when they say like David Carr was a bust. I don't think he was a bust. He just had a bad offensive line.
Yeah,
he had one good lineman.
Yeah, he got killed. Same as Tim Couch. Tim Couch developed happy feet because every time he turned around, there was somebody in his face.
Very true. Yeah, no. And people forget about that. Like, okay, you're going to go to a Houston, Texas team, and as the number 1 pick as a quarterback, and you have a patched up offensive line, your quarterback is as good as his offensive line. I'm sorry. Okay, you could have Jackson, and you could have Mahomes, and even Allen, and you could scramble a bit. And that's why a lot of people are getting these guys so they could scramble and keep the plays alive. But you're going to get eaten up.
Yeah,
and how long? How long before you get hurt?
Yeah, look at Robert Griffin at Washington. Same thing. No offensive line. He ran around like a chicken, and he finally got caught, and he got hurt. And that ruined his career.
I mean, he was already fragile. I always used to call him Mr. Glass, and just coming into the league, it just proved it. The poor guy was fragile. He just got eaten up.
Yeah, Michael Vick was the same way. The only difference with Michael Vick was a little shorter and heavier, but he's still, unless you get protected, you're going to take a beating. And eventually these 300-pound guys running 4.5s are going to be like a steamroller coming at you. You're going to get hurt.
Plus, the only thing with these guys, the league's a little softer. It's not as crazy as it used to be. You can't land on them with your whole 350 pounds if you're a defensive tackle, or you have to roll off of them. You don't have that 2-step that they used to have, where they used to still crack the guy, blow him up.
You can't slam them anymore either.
Nope, can't slam them. You can't touch their head.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things you can't do.
That's for sure.
Looking at the schedule, which is the one game, or what do you actually think the Jets are going to go?
I think the Jets are going to be anywhere between 4 and 6 games win.
That's it, 4 or 6.
But I'm a realistic Jet fan. You know that. It is what it is. It's going to take time. You got to give Salah time. We'll see. I mean, you could be surprised. I mean, we're starting to get the weapons. Once we get the weapons, then Elijah Moore. He's a beast. He's fast, tiny though. But he plays slot. He can play on the outside. So
that was my thing with this draft. This thing with the wide receivers at this draft, to me, most of them were all small.
Yeah,
All these guys are small this year.
College plays that West Coast offense now, right? It's a two-step drop, boom, on the slant. And that's what Elijah Moore is good at. He creates that separation. Same thing with Devontae Smith. You know, he's got the fastest separation within the first 10 yards. That's hard. A running back running on his heels, hard to keep up with. But you need a quarterback that can hit the ball on the slant. That's where Wilson comes in. That was his offense. You know, it's drop back, boom, ball out of your hand.
Yeah.
Old days of Marino dropping back, scanning the field, going deep to Dupree. That's gone.
Yeah, only a few guys could do it, and if you have a good offensive line, you still could get it deep down the field. But a lot of these guys, it's all quick, and it makes sense with some of these teams if they're playing off the ball. I mean, like when the Bills were playing, I forgot who, they should have just kept throwing slants. It was tough against Kansas City because they were just pressing, and the Bills receivers couldn't even get off. I mean, this is the Bills schedule. I know we play the same teams pretty much. Nothing crazy.
I think there's only one or two teams that are different.
I think Washington.
Carolina. So
I think. I mean, that's a game I think you guys could win. You guys start with Carolina. I don't think that's an unwinnable game for you guys.
No.
Especially, playing against Bradford. Not Bradford.
Think about our wide receiver from last year, 2 years ago.
Anderson.
I can't remember the little guy.
Anderson. Yeah.
So.
And I like it. I liked him. I just thought he wanted too much money.
He wasn't a number one receiver, though. He was good at 2 or 3, but he wasn't a number one. I mean, we got Mills that came over from Baylor. If he can stay healthy, we're good. He's a good deep threat, and then you got Elijah Moore in the middle, and then hopefully some of these other guys they picked up in free agency would step in and round it up.
But you still have Crowder. Crowder's I thought was pretty good. I like him.
He's getting up in age, and he's also a good slot receiver. He reminds me of Quebec. Just you told him the ball, he's going to catch it.
Yeah, he was good. I liked him. I mean, you guys start off with Carolina. I think you guys could win that game.
Yeah.
You go to New England. Well, New England to New York.
We catch them early, right? It depends on who their quarterback is. I mean, they're going through a transition either as well. Cam Newton is not what Cam Newton used to be. Till he was really good till he got hurt.
Yeah. Well, I will say this though, New England actually, they should have beat us for the first game, I believe. If it wasn't for a forced fumble, they probably would have won that game. And they had a lot of opt-outs. Now they went out there and spent money, and they got 2 tight ends if he loves to run 2 tight end sets. So that's going to come back. I know Cam's not Brady, but Cam did run for what? A little less than 700 yards, I believe. So,
but you have to. Yes, you have no offensive line either.
That is true. But they went and they picked up some guys this year, so let's see how that goes. I think the AFC East is going to be pretty nasty. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I mean, if you want to say, okay, the Jets might be the worst, but I still want to see what Tua does. They had a really good draft, but for what I saw in Tua, I wasn't really impressed. So,
well, remember, when Tua was Alabama, what did they have? A great offensive line. That he was able to take the third step. And then he had his wide receivers. If you look at the past few drafts, it has been all Alabama receivers.
Yeah.
Every
running backs.
There's like the last four top picks coming out of Alabama have been all the receivers.
Yeah.
So he's had the weapons. That's why he was there. But again, small guy, small build. Yeah, he's like a Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson, at times gets hit too, but he's able to get the ball fast. He's got the receiver. I mean, he's got the best receiver in the league, in my opinion.
Metcalf or Lockett?
Yeah, Metcalf. He said Metcalf. He's a man. He's like what's his name from Detroit? Big
Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron. Yep.
No, I wanted the Bills to draft Metcalf, and they didn't, and I was upset with that. That drove me kind of crazy, and he dropped, to the 3rd round, I think it was, or late 2nd or 3rd or something like that. That was driving me crazy.
I wanted to just to pick up your quarterback.
Which one?
He had the arm.
Which quarterback?
Quarterback.
Oh, Allen?
Main quarterback. Yes, because when he was at Wyoming, I saw his play. The way he threw the ball into the wind, that's perfect for MetLife Stadium. That's wind in your face, and you need that zip.
Yeah.
But they went with Darnold, so it is, it's one of those choices you have to live with.
It worked out for us. I remember that draft. In that draft, I said I want Allen, and if we don't get Allen, I want Jackson. And they went with Allen. And I was like, all right. But I didn't think Jackson was going to be as good as he was. I thought he was more of a work in progress. But he turned out to be a beast too.
Jackson at Louisville was awesome. I mean, he was very consistent from freshman to senior year. Didn't drop off. It wasn't high, wasn't low. Where some of these quarterbacks. Let's take Allen. Allen started nowhere, right? And he gradually his senior year is when he took off. Darnold started high and then went down. So, but with Jackson, he just it was the old age, until he was just considered a running quarterback.
Yeah.
But he had an arm. He can flip. I mean, if you ever see, he's like Mahomes. They have these weird angles that he can throw off. And that's
he has a real strong arm.
Around the edge.
Yep. I just thought he would have to get used to throwing more and just reading better. But the guy came out and threw it up. He's been great. He's been good. So can't hate on him.
Also, the great they have in Baltimore. They have a great system.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Every year they're in it. Looking at this,
the thing that he has that my quarterback doesn't have. He had two running backs that can run in Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore is a beast. They've been like that for so long already. Here you go. Let's see. Bam. What's this? Any thoughts on the Ravens this season? Hoping Lamar gets playoff confident. Last two seasons, he struggles in the playoffs after becoming great in the regular season. Hope doesn't become his norm. No, well, hopefully it doesn't. I don't mind it because we played them in the playoffs. I was fine with that. He did struggle. They needed better wide receivers. And, once you took away their run game, he struggled. And if you were able to get to him, he wasn't as, as not confident, but he's not like Mahomes. You get to Mahomes, he's still going to make plays. He's still going to keep fighting. Lamar keeps fighting, but it affected him more. Like you could see his frustration, and he would start messing up on the passes and so forth. Like German said, like German said, their system, they have a great system. Huh?
He said when he's on the run, his mechanics come off, so he goes high. So you can see in the playoffs when he was throwing a lot of interceptions because they were too high, they were sailing. He wasn't underthrowing because that dude's got an arm and a half. But again, it's just like look what happened to Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You can't protect him, no matter how good he is. He's not going to get past the rush. He was getting slammed. Yeah, he was slowed down by the toe, but he was. He got hit hard. Because Kansas City was missing a couple of their offensive linemen.
Yeah, no,
it all starts with the people.
Yeah, and like I said, I like the Ravens. They have that great system. I always like John Harbaugh. Never liked Jim Harbaugh, but I like John Harbaugh. And they put in work. They did pick up some receivers, I believe, in the draft. So let's see. And if they're able to trade for Julio Jones, that'll help them out. And then he will have no excuse whatsoever. No excuse with the receivers.
Yeah, I think Atlanta will be making a huge mistake by letting Julio Jones go.
They don't have no money.
I know it's expensive, and I know they have a lot of receivers now down in. They're loaded with the receivers and tight ends. But he's still, man. Julio Jones is still the man.
Oh no, he's a beast. But the only way, like I was listening to the NFL Network, and they broke it down as that they would have to take his contract, they give him like $8 million guaranteed, and put the rest in incentive. And then he would have to hit those incentives because the risk you're taking is if you get hurt, if you don't get to those incentives, you just lost $7 million and you agreed to it. So he might be looking at that He gets hurt pretty much every year. The lowest incentive might be like a touchdown, 6 touchdowns, because he had 5, so he has to better what he had. And he only played in 9 games, I believe. So I mean, there should be no reason he doesn't get 6 touchdowns. But if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago he only had like 1 touchdown the whole year, wasn't it? But he had some crazy amount of yards. I think that was the year Calvin Ridley went crazy. So it could happen that he gets that and doesn't get the touchdown.
But he was hurt a couple of years ago when I think the first year Calvin Ridley. I mean,
Okay.
But now, man, they have just the tight end from Florida, he's a tight end, but he's really a wide receiver. Just a big wide
Kyle
receiver.
Pitts.
Who's fast. Yeah, Kyle Pitts. So,
yeah. Man, as of right now, they have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Russell Gage as their starting 3 wide receivers, along with Pitts at tight end, which would be crazy. But to me, the problem hasn't been their offense, it's their defense. So you're going to have to try to outscore everybody all the time.
That's today's NFL, though.
What is that?
Today's NFL is all that now. Remember the Jerry Granville Houston days. It's the two. Remember that? It was just pop, 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 pop. That's what the NFL is now. They want offense. You can't. I feel bad for the defenders. I mean, you can't touch them. Can't touch an offensive player because you get flagged. You can't. Remember the hand jostling back in the day. Can't do that anymore. The little tug here and there. You can't. Even when the receiver is tugging on the defenders, the defenders don't want to get in the flag.
I hate that. It drives me crazy. Your mic is cracking up bad.
Yes, I know. I know.
Because you can't really touch the receivers. You can't hit them, even if it goes off their hands, because they become what's it called? A defenseless receiver. I put you on mute right now while you're walking. So that's bad. So you really can't do anything. It is tough for the defensive players. I love defense, but it's insane. It's so tough. You can't land on the quarterback. The only guy the league doesn't seem to care about is the running back. You pretty much could kill the running backs at any point, but you can't touch the receivers. You can't touch the quarterbacks. It's just ridiculous. It's tough.
That's true. And now now you have that from the neck to the waist. You can't hit below the knees.
Yeah.
Or you can't hit by the knees because that's a targeting foul. You can't go to the neck. That's a targeting foul. You can't hit with your shoulder anymore. If you're looking at the guys, that's the way we got taught. You go tackle. You make sure you look that person in the eye, right?
Yeah.
Turn your head. Keep your eyes on them. Now that's targeting. So the defenders are, and then you got the receivers the offense is taking advantage because they'll duck.
Well, that's what you're going to be crazy.
There's nothing you can do. You can't stop midair.
Nope.
It's just difficult. So it's, that's why I'm saying if you have a team that has an offensive line that has 4 good receivers, a running back coming out of the backfield, a quarterback that can deliver the ball on time, because that's what this is. You take that 5-yard slant, boom, and you're gone. That's the team that's going to win until you get to the playoffs. And that's when the defense comes into play.
Yep. I mean, that's what a lot of teams are doing. But the thing is, because even like if you look at Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger is one of the quickest guys in the league. But when the Bills got to him and other people were getting to him, it frustrated him and it messed up his rhythm. And he wasn't completing those quick little slants and stuff. So it affected him. And you saw it in the playoffs. Bills kicked their butt. And it was because of that. They were able to get to him. And you need to get to these quarterbacks. And like you said, with the rookies, with the quick glance, it helps them out a lot. It helps out a lot of guys. There was plenty of times I'm looking at the Bills. I'm like, why aren't you guys doing quick slants? These guys are giving you cushion. Take what they give you. And that's what KC did to us. KC ate up our middle because our guys kept dropping back. So they kept taking that little dump pass, whether it's to Kelsey or Hill really didn't do much, but they were dropping it off to their running back. So that kept us.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
that's the catch and then the yards after the catch.
mm-hmm.
That's where the game. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's just it's easier said than done. But but it all starts there. It has to start with your offensive line, no matter what. So hopefully, hopefully the Jets, hopefully they mature, because we haven't had a good offensive line. We at one point or another, a couple of years ago, we had an awesome. We've had two Hall of Fame, in my opinion, two Hall of Fame centers in the last 10 years. And Mawai, who's a Hall of Famer, and then the blonde guy, his name is skipping my head right now.
Mango.
But he was, Mango, right?
Mango.
So we've been lucky to have that. We had the brick, the Brickishaw, which is he was there forever. Now we have the new one. So we're retooling. We just have to fill in the gaps, because now the pulling guard plays a big role. You need that pulling guard.
Yep, you do. I'm looking at this. This here, I just say 1, 2. No, say 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6. I can see them winning 6 games right now. But they should win at least 6 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So 46.
Yeah, maybe 7. 7. I could 6 to 7 games.
I don't like. Yeah, the only thing about the Jets schedule I don't like is that their bye week is the 6th week.
Yeah, it's early.
That's early. That's the first 5 weeks of the season. That means they have to play 10 straight games without a break. The first 7 games are against non-playoff teams, mostly away. So that's a good thing.
No, that's not true.
The next 10 games, no?
Didn't Tennessee make the playoffs? Or they missed them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mostly, not all of them. Mostly non-playoff games. Non-playoff teams.
Yeah.
And I could 4 of the first teams are away.
You have 2 games. 2 of the first 4 are away. Yeah, so you have 6 games or 5 games, and 2 are away. The last 2 are home before your bye, so that's not bad.
Yeah, and our the end of the year schedule, that's where it's brutal.
Yeah,
that's when we get into the schedule. That's hard.
It looks kind of rough. I mean, we don't know what New Orleans, even though New Orleans should be fine. I like Winston. And then, Philly. Who knows with Philly? Philly should be beatable. I mean, you go for a stretch in New England. I think you'll split with New England. Cincinnati, I think you'll beat Cincinnati. My thing, it just comes back to me. It comes down to Wilson and see what Wilson could do. I could see you guys splitting with New England. I could see you beating Cincinnati. I don't think you'll beat Indy. You guys might. I always say you guys play us tough. Lost you. Let's see. I'll wait till you come back. Oops. Nope. Not what I wanted. We lost you. I could see the Jets splitting with New England. I could see them. I'll bring you back now. Lost you again. There you are. I could see them beating Cincinnati, losing to Indy. Maybe splitting with Buffalo. Miami is a possible split. Houston, you should beat. Philly, you guys could beat Philly. And then I think you'll lose. And Jacksonville, that's one of the games I think you could beat too. And then we never know who's going to get hurt or not,
Right,
German, right. There you go. All right, I was going to say, I've lost you again. Anyway. I didn't hear a word you say.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
All right.
Connect really bad.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you. I can't hear you. Where you at? There you are. German's gone. Sorry, Susie, you started breaking up way too much. Thanks for hopping on. Made that last chunk of time a lot easier. for me because I had somebody to talk to. I believe it was the Facebook user. Thanks for sending out the question. Let's get back on some of the news here. Where are we? Where's my thing here? Good Lord, I got to catch up. Bam. Also, Bills news here. Bills ended up signing. I think they heard me, but they weren't really listening all that well. So, defensive tackle Tavon Heston, formerly of Washington football team in 2019, where he recorded 1 sack, 1 tackle, and a fumble recover. I guess it was just 1 play he had, and that was his stat. Brought in a defensive tackle, 6'2", 304 pounds. Not as big as I wanted. I'm looking for one of those guys that is about 350 plus pounds, but it brings in more depth at the defensive tackle, so I guess he'll get a chance to play for a spot, maybe earn a spot. We shall see. Again, personally, I wanted one of those 350 meat and potato guys to fill up the spot, free up Ed Oliver, free up our defensive ends, and so forth. It's like I have ghosts coming over here reaching for stuff behind me. Also, the Bills worked out wide receiver Jeff Badditt, who was cut by the Vikings in 2018 without ever playing a snap. Pretty much spent his time on the practice squad. Then he played for the XFL before signing with the Washington Football Club. I keep wanting to call him the old school name, but I guess I'm not supposed to. He played in 3 games, did not catch a pass, in 20 offensive snaps. I'm like, why are they bringing this guy in when we have 1,000 wide receivers on our roster already? We have so many wide receivers. Let's see what we got here. We got Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah Hodgins, Tanner Gentry. Those are all supposed to be our right side, I believe. Then we got Emmanuel Sanders, Isaiah McKenzie, Duke Williams, Brandon Powell. All right, that was the other street. Now we go to the next line. Cole Beasley, Marquez Stevenson, Jake Kumaro, Trey Walker. Why, good Lord, man, you bringing in this kid too. Listen, the one thing I must say, in his Oklahoma Pro Day, he ran a 4.2. So you're bringing in speed. He's more of a return man as well. You signed McKenzie because of this. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope they don't just keep one guy just for returning, because I hate that. At least McKenzie could return punts, and he plays the slot also. So that's something I like. I like a guy who could do both things or play more than just returning. Keeping a return man just for a return man drives me insane. Use the guy as a receiver as well. So what was that? I got Harris, and I got these guys. Now, being I was talking about the schedule with German there, let me just throw this up again. I mean, I'm not really going to pick it up. The one thing I don't like is that we're playing like besides Pittsburgh and the Colts, we're going away, we're always away. Pittsburgh, we're home, fine. It's a good game. And I can't really complain because Pittsburgh has not played a home game, opening game, since who the hell knows? I think it's been over like 14 years or something crazy that this team has not had a home opener game. Why is that? It's ridiculous to me. So anyway, one playoff team we face at home is Pittsburgh. The other one is the Colts. Not the Colts. The Titans. Yeah, the Colts. We play the Colts home as well. But we play Kansas City in their house. We played them last year, I believe, in their house. We got to go play Tennessee in their house, which, I believe we played them last year in their house as well. And now we got to go play the Super Bowl champs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where? In Tampa. Why are we playing Tampa in Buffalo in December? I guess because they're the Super Bowl champs, they get to stay home. I was just a little happy that we didn't have to start the season off with the Jets like we did the last 2 years. No need for that. But we do close the season with the Jets. So hopefully we're not waiting for hey, we got Kirk Cousins. Look at Kirk Cousins said, hey, what's up, Kirk Cousins? Yeah, I don't think it's really Kirk Cousins, but what's up? What's your question? It'd be funny if it was him. Uh, and then we play on Thanksgiving, which I love. All the years I was always saying, how come we never play on Thanksgiving? We played last year against the Cowboys, beat up on the Cowboys. It was a very good game. Or was it the year before that? Might be mixing that up. But at least we get to play on Thanksgiving again against the New Orleans Saints. I'm a Saint fan. I've always root for them with Drew Brees. I like Winston, so I'm not rooting for him there. Rooting straight up. Oh, look at this. Kirk Cousins say we will meet in the Super Bowl. Who? What? Listen here, Kirk. There's a good chance. It would be so funny if it's the real Kirk Cousins, which I don't think, but it would be great to meet them in the Super Bowl. If Aaron Rodgers is not in the North, Minnesota becomes the favorite in that division in my mind. But you would still have to beat the San Francisco 49ers, which I think might be the favorites, all depending if they stay healthy. Now, if they get that sick bug like they did last year and killed everybody on that squad, there is a good chance that you guys could be the favorite. You guys got good wide receivers. You have one of the better running backs that I like in the league, and Cook. Kirk can sling the ball. So who knows? Now, the problem wasn't so much your offense, it was more the defense, which in the past, the defense was always better. You have an old ex-Buffalo Bill coordinator there. So I hope the Vikings and Bills play, and then one of them will finally win a Super Bowl. So I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. But I guess we will have to wait and get to the Super Bowl, both teams, for that to actually happen. So it would be pretty cool. Let me, what else on this? I mean, I don't want to pick, but there's a good amount of games here or teams that I think the Bills should play. They have, as of right now, from last year, 1, 2, 3, 4, what was it, 4 playoff game, 5 playoff teams here. I think if I'm going to add one more this year, if I'm looking at this roster, there is one team from the NFC, I believe that makes, actually, no, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. I think you're going to have 6. Washington actually won their division, so yeah, they did make the playoffs. So you have 6, and I think Washington most likely will win their division again this year, even though people are picking the Cowboys. Yep, this is so true. Bam, 0-4 versus 0-4 in the Super Bowl. One of them will finally get a win, and I would say it would be the Buffalo Bills because I'm a Bills fan. So yeah, I'm going to say the Bills would beat Minnesota. And then Stephon Diggs will get his revenge. So, yes, I do. I would like to see that. It would be pretty cool because eventually at least one of these guys would finally win a Super Bowl, which they have not been able to do thus far. Bills went 4 in a row. I don't think the Vikings went 4 in a row, but they did lose 4 Super Bowls in a row, or 4 Super Bowls. With the one player, I don't remember if it was in the Super Bowl in the playoffs where he ran the football the opposite way on a fumble. The Purple People Eaters. Anything else? The people watching on Zingo, thanks for watching. Channel 198. Everybody for chiming in. Thanks for German for stepping in and helping me out. Cousin Vinny stuck at work, couldn't get off. Poor guy's running up and down I-95, delivering stuff for everybody out there. Real quick, what else can I say? Players Union Association ended up saying Brandon Beane's comments were stupid about cutting anybody who couldn't get their COVID shot just to try to make the offseason as normal as possible. The reason he said that was because if everybody has their COVID shot, they could just run business as usual. If some people have them and some people don't, they will have to be handled in a different manner. And I guess the vaccinated team could be together while the other guys can't. I don't know. Again, to me, it should be a choice. If they're testing the players for COVID and they're negative, why can't they be with the vaccinated guys if they're negative? If everybody's tested negative, just go and practice. Anyway, on that note, I want to say thank you. I'm going to say peace out. I'm going to say Viva Los Bills. I'm going to take a little swig for everybody out there. Adios. Nos vemos. Next week, I'll see what we're going to do. Don't forget, I'm going to put up a small Cornelius Bennett shirt up for grabs. Subscribe to Viva Los Bills on YouTube, on Facebook, our group page, Viva Los Bills, Twitter, Viva Los Bills. And until next Thursday, everybody, I'm saying adios, peace out, bye, nos vemos, hasta la próxima. Go Bills.